Choo choo, motherfuckers, and welcome all of you guys back to part 8 of our top 10 worst DSP gaming moments of 2021. And if you've just joined us again, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to sort of like skip towards basically this is where we are. So, in the previous part, we finally found out that Phil has, at the very least, spent over $100,000 on a mobile game. $100,000 is roughly the equivalent of 5 times as much as I've made in a single year, which seems like a slap in the face, more or less, and considering the fact that he's just throwing like basically $100,000 away in as many years, it's the sort of thing that makes you realize that, well, as that one Scottish guy said yesterday, what is even the point of donating to Phil at all? Like, why would you bother? It's not going to go towards any in sort of improvements or like, because has his setup or his station changed in any way over the last 3 years? I don't think so, because remember, Phil just decides not to, because that will require more money, time, and effort than it's ever worth. So there's that. And he can still, again, if we were to literally cut all of Phil's spendings on WWE champions, he would never have to file for bankruptcy. He would easily be able to just at least save $10,000 a month just from not playing this game. And actually, you know what? They can afford to eat healthier. Kat wouldn't have problems with her weight. Phil might have a slightly more positive outlook. So much of the problems of Phil's life almost seem to actually go a little bit back to this game, and the fact that it's like, you know what I mean? Phil probably views that game as some sort of escape, but unfortunately, you can't escape from your responsibilities. No game could do that. Anyway, part 8.
If the word gets out, everybody will know about his gambling problem. Let's review number 3.
It's a bit late for that, but I see your point. Okay, Rich from Review Tech USA.
I'm sorry, Rich is a whore. He doesn't care at what expense, just like Keemstar. He's just as bad as Keemstar. He's worthless. He could disappear from YouTube tomorrow, and no one would give a fuck.
It's really important to me.
We're gonna get DSP on my podcast.
Okay, so Rich of Review Tech USA claims he wants to interview me on his podcast. No, I have no interest in being on any podcast, especially because you explicitly say in your cheer you want me to basically talk about my side of the story. There's no side of any story. There's no drama going on. There's nothing that's anyone's fucking business, honestly. So no, I'm not going on your podcast. You want to go to drama cast, you can do it to your fucking self and leave me out of it. Alrighty then.
This is why you are where you are, numbnuts.
Yeah.
Review Tech USA versus DSP Gaming 2 Turbo.
Okay, here we go.
A video has this was not planned. I was going to either do some like Karen videos, cop videos, you know, the typical stuff. And then Secret Unlimited dropped the DSP gambling $100,000 of donation money into a mobile app game. So let's dive into the lore of DSP WWE Champions.
WWE Champions lives rent-free in your motherfucking head. Did you hear about the crazy conspiracy theory about you spending $40,000 on mobile games?
I'll never understand the fascination and addiction to these.
There were certain times when I was addicted to it, I played it too much. In that WWE Supercard game, I played it too much. There was like events where I was playing it like countless hours.
So he's kind of admitting here that he kind of had a problem. I never heard about this shit before. This is interesting.
The gross income that he's claiming that he's making is $35.
$5,000 a month, and how did he get away with this? That's impossible.
I don't understand either.
$110.09. $110.09.
Oh, Phil.
$110.09. $110.09. From PayPal.
Yeah, it's all kind of coming together at the Ranger.
This is the chat box. These are all from the
it's there.
WWE Champions
It's there.
application game. If anything goes by the amount of years where Phil has spent into this game, he could have spent around $100,000 on a match 3 game.
Jesus Christ.
On a match 3 game for that amount of money, you would have suspected Phil would have been like, I don't know, like that he had actual some stock in this game, as though he was an investor. But no, he's not investing, he's losing. That's what Phil, to this day, simply doesn't seem to quite grasp, is that he's not winning anything. He's not, you know, long term, this is going to haunt him for years. But again, one thing that also is really good for the Secret Unlimited channel is that there's absolutely no way that you can't say that Phil does not know about all of this stuff, because he goes after Secret Limited as well, but we'll get back to that later.
No, they go to his PayPal, which makes sense, because then he could just go right on his game and just whatever balance he... Oh, fuck me. It's all true.
Yeah.
It's all true. The trolls weren't wrong. The detractors weren't. Fuck me. The detractors again were right. Yeah, I stopped being a member of Phil after I saw this video come out. Lies. No, I ended it today.
Probably for the best.
I don't know how I could prove it, but I did. Nah, dude. I tried, Phil. I tried.
Meanwhile,
I was playing my usual Friday Night Fight stream, and I happened to notice that a couple of people who are newer viewers and fans of mine who've come over as a result of Review Tech USA apparently recommending my channel and saying go check out Darkside Phil, and actually coming here, becoming a channel member, doing some super chats and the like. Edward just did a super chat saying Rich just ended his stream. He ended early? He couldn't wait half an hour? Come on. Anyway, he says, Rich ended. I came over to check out yours and drop some support. Thank you, Edward. You're very nice. You guys are being very nice to me tonight. I don't know what happened. I appreciate it. Thank you, Edward, for the super chat tonight.
do you think these guys... Oh.
One of them was here last night, and I said, you know, I've been hearing a rumor. This troll has been coming on my stream for like a week now, all right? And this troll has been saying dumb shit like, oh, Review Tech did a whole stream about you, exposing you, and saying all this stuff about you and how you blow all your money on mobile games and blah, 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 blah. And live on his stream, he canceled his membership, and he did all this dramatic stuff. So now you've been exposed by another YouTuber, okay? Rich has this habit of not being able to keep my name out of his mouth. It seems like whenever Rich seems he can get some kind of a benefit out of mentioning me, he will. And then if there's nothing going on with me or whatever, he'll just completely forget I exist. And then he'll come back again in a negative way. So sometimes he'll be positive, sometimes he'll be negative. It's really weird with this guy. People have been saying it in my chat. It's like bipolar.
Well,
The
that's
best
only
way...
because Rich only found out about certain things, and then, you know, that kind of changes his circumstances, because, again, I don't particularly think Rich will have many nice things to say about this.
To like describe it is like you don't know what Rich you're talking to today. Are you talking to the Rich that's going to be a nice guy and tell his viewers you have good content and come support you? Or are you talking to the Rich that's going to do an expose on his stream where he watches your detractor content and shits all over you? Okay?
People want to support the show, but the way he guilts people and talks about his financial dire straits, I don't know if we're going to be able to eat tomorrow. He literally says, I don't know if we'll be able to go to the grocery store. And then you're turning around and flipping and doing shit with the money like this. And the thing is, you're making it your audience's business. Of course they're going to be very questionable, Phil. Or very skeptical, I mean.
I don't like that shit. All right? I don't. If you're going to be one way or the other, fine, but don't be two-faced. Don't one day be nice and the next day be a piece of shit. All right? Either be one way or the other. It's that simple. You can't have it both ways. Rich apparently wants to have it both ways. Rich can't have it both ways. Okay? He's not going to. Saying, Rich exposed you the whole stream, exposing you and saying that, you know, that you're a horrible person that blows all his money, and he's not going to support you, and he even canceled live, he canceled his membership to your channel, saying you know, blah, blah, blah. So finally I said to this guy in the chat, I said, listen, it has nothing to do with you, but I'm just curious, you're a fan of Rich. Did this really happen, and to what extent did it happen? So they answered me, they said, here's what happened. Rich watched a detractor video about you, essentially talking about the stupid mobile game meme, the bullshit that you spent a ton of money on mobile games, and basically after watching it this time, and it's weird because he's watched other stuff before, but now he claims he's convinced and he believed it, and then live on his stream, a big publicity stunt essentially, big drama thing, he said, oh, I can't support Phil anymore, I can't enable him, and he canceled his membership. Okay? Do it. In fact, go ahead. Watch it for yourself. You know? What you'll find is that when you watch that shit, there's literally no proof of anything in any of the shit they say. It's all, oh, well, if you assume this, if you guess this, this could be true, so it must be. When you piece together 400 pieces of bullshit, you get a tapestry of bullshit, and then they all talk about it so much they believe it's real. Okay?
Phil.
The truth of the matter is, everything, as I've said, is based on a nugget of truth.
Phil.
That's why I don't bother addressing their bullshit. There's no point. I have addressed their bullshit in the past. It does nothing.
Because this little nugget of truth, Phil, unfortunately for you, it's all true anyway. Phil, I don't understand. You know what, Phil, we know fine well this is true. Why don't you get this, Phil? The evidence is overwhelming, and it's point intact to the fact that you don't bother to mention it, or you tell people to like not mention it, and you keep saying you won't address it. Phil, we all know why you won't address it, because you absolutely know why, because you've got a gambling addiction and you're in complete denial about the situation. Did Phil... Okay, seriously, here's what I don't get about this guy, is that if he really is adamant that he doesn't play this game and he hasn't spent all this money, then you know what? Then why is he still begging? Then why on earth do we have all these records about people socially engineer themselves into finding out about Phil's banking history for the last year? Why is it that many people have even gone on things like Cameo, like, saying that stop spending your money on mobile phone games? Kevin Nash even went on to Cameo literally just to tell you this, Phil. And yeah, there's a whole lot of other things as well. And hey, guess what? Since the year 2023 is only a month from ending, and subsequently this year, I reckon it's not the last time we're going to hear about this either, Phil. But you still keep on going into denial about it. Phil, you've got to face facts. Even if you say it's not true, then where did all this evidence come from? Then where did all of these statements come from? Then where did these records, or where did you lying about your bankruptcy hearing come into play? Where did this happen, Phil? How could this have happened? It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact, Phil. It's fact. And you can't argue with this. You know fine well this is fact, but well, that actually does beg the question. Does Phil legitimately know fine well that he's talking out of his arse just to save face? Or is Phil just so completely in denial about the situation that it's better for him to just pretend there is no issue? Is that what it is? Which, again, don't even think about that, considering the next time he begs on stream for donations.
It's a waste of my time to address their bullshit. Alright, so why am I bringing this up? Because there's a difference between, okay, I watch the video, I believe it or I don't, I make a judgment for myself. Or, oh, I have a following on the internet.
More than just one video.
Alright, I have a ridiculous amount of subscribers and viewers on my channel. Today I have nothing to do. I have no content to put out for my viewers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch videos that outright state that they are defamatory against Darkside Phil, exposing him, conspiracy theory. I'm gonna watch it, right? And then I'm gonna talk about it to all of my viewers, and then I'm going to actually pull a publicity stunt to try to get, attention for myself today. Because Rich, that's what you did, right? That's literally what you did. You had no content to put out for that day, and you said, instead of working hard to put out meaningful content for my viewers, let's do drama content at the expense of others so I can make
What's Phil's definition of meaningful content then, if it's not that? I would love to know what Phil considers meaningful content in this sense then.
buck today. That's literally what you did, Rich, okay? And you did it at my expense. And I don't appreciate that, and I'm fucking pissed at you, all right? You should know better. You have a big following on YouTube. You have people who look up to you, okay? And for you to pull that shit basically shows that you don't care about what you say or do in your content as long as you're making a buck. And that pisses me the fuck off. It does. Because I've had people like you walk all over me my entire fucking life.
So do you think any of this washes?
Now everyone who watches your shit thinks I'm a scumbag. Alright? Because you watched a purposely defamatory video. And then you pulled a publicity stunt on your fucking stream to get attention for yourself and create drama for yourself so you can get clicks, you can get views, and you can make money for that day. Alright? It's completely fucking two-faced. Because you can't then the next day come back and say, oh.
The only thing, this is only one thing I want to say is that if it really mattered, if what happened in 2020 really pissed Rich off that much, then why did Rich still, why was he still a follower of DSP? That might be one thing I want to possibly go over, is that if Rich doesn't like DSP that much, then why does he still keep following him? And even being a member of his channel in which he would be able to pay money for a subscription, where does that come into it? And how do you rationalize that? That might be the one thing I actually kind of maybe agree with Phil a little bit, but oh well.
I'll throw Phil a super chat. You literally just on your stream said I'm going to cancel my membership because I don't want to enable Phil because this video makes it look like he's a gambler or whatever, and then come back the next day, oh, here's a super chat. All right? You want to know what you call that? An asshole. You're a fucking asshole. And you did it to get yourself over, and I'm tired of your shit. So as of this morning, I'm laying down...
Actually, I've just thought about it. Well, maybe Rich still felt kind of bad for Phil, but that was before the revelations with the gambling stuff, so maybe that's possibly also it.
On the law. Rich, if this is how you're gonna fucking behave, I don't want you on my streams. I don't want you doing anything to do with me. I want you to leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna lay down the law, Rich. Either you fucking apologize to me for what you did, or fuck off and never come back to my streams. It's one or the other. Sorry, I don't need any fair weather fucking friends. I've had a lot of people like that in my life before. I don't need them. Alright? So you make the decision for yourself. But you make it quick. Already you bitched years ago when I blocked you on Twitter. Oh, why did Phil block me on Twitter? Because you're an asshole. Just kind of, do a quick one like I did last time. I unlocked him last time. I didn't have much time to play with him. Now I'm going to have a whole night to use it. Which will be pretty cool. Okay. Alright, Rich, goodbye. Enjoy your permanent ban and don't come back to my streams. Fuck off. Okay. Being a fucking idiot gonna cause problems. Alright, goodbye. Here we go.
Not that I think Rich is missing out on much.
Run into that brick wall. You tell them there's a brick wall there. Everyone else sees the brick wall, except Phil. And Phil continues to ram his face into the brick wall to prove there's no brick wall there. And he cannot see the brick wall. He genuinely can't. Many of you have heard about DSP gaming. I don't dislike Phil. I don't think Phil is a bad person. Well, anyway, I saw this from Secret Unlimited. It's called gambling $100,000 of donation money into a mobile gaming app, which is they saying that Phil is doing, and it had a lot of damning evidence. Don't believe me? Go check it out yourself. And I decided, I have been a monthly member of Phil for a very long time, and I decided, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to do it anymore. Yes, the next day I proceeded to super chat him to see if there was what his reaction would be. It worked. But Phil was not happy that I watched that video. He was making it like I exposed him, even though I didn't put together this video, which is over an hour long. It was not done by me. I was reacting to Secret Unlimited's video. And he is demanding an apology.
Not happening, Phil.
Okay.
Especially as a result of
All right, Rich, goodbye. Enjoy your permanent ban and don't come back to my streams. Fuck off. Okay.
And then I actually gave you constructive criticism in a non-super chat, and you blocked me. If you didn't talk about your finances, Phil, even if you have financial problems, but if you didn't talk about them, people wouldn't give a damn whenever you spent your money on. But because you use the fact that you're broke to incentivize people to donate, people are going to be like, we're going to look into this because this guy's always decrying that he's poor, but he lives in a gated community. Phil, you said you stopped playing WWE Champions, and then someone saw it on your phone in one of your pre-stream podcasts. Like they saw it, you could see it in the Secret Unlimited video. They actually pieced together like forensics, like their CSI. They pieced together and showed that you had the WWE mobile game on there, on your stream. Watch that stream. You don't have to show your app on your phone of WWE Champions and all these sweaty men that you collect. Watch it on stream and debunk it. Again, you put yourself in this situation by talking about your financial woes. If it's all not true, go out there, watch it on a live stream. I'm sure plenty of people would tune into that, man. You'd make crazy money. But you won't because you know there's some truth there.
Here, I have a PC from, 5-6 years ago, but I think you could, you say you need a new one, and I could just give it to you, just pay for shipping. I'm like, geez, this is kind of a lot of positivity out of nowhere from Rich.
The reason why I saw you making that video, I'm like, you know what? I have a big-ass Threadripper rig here. You pay the shipping. I get it out of my house. I win by getting more space in my house. Now my friend's taking the PC, not you, Phil. It wasn't me just trying to conjure something up to have drama here. You do a great job of bringing the drama to your doorstep yourself. It's that simple.
He literally just offers me out of the blue a PC.
But you don't understand that. You want a cult. You don't want people who are subscribers. You don't want people that are friends. You just want people that are like, yes, sir. Yes, Phil, sir. Everything you do is keep begging, Phil. Please keep begging, sir. I will keep throwing you money, sir. That's what you want. And it's not how life works, Chief.
Today, we're doing Earthbound. Haven't even hit the tier 1 disc goal. So I can't spend money. So right now, instead, I think my wife's going to make a tuna casserole. And I'm just going to go on a break at one point. Probably like 4:30 p.m.
Your content is not chill. People probably have to go get prescriptions of Xanax after watching because you're sitting there pressuring them saying, I'm playing this game and no one's watching. Phil, you sit there and play a video game and
I'd say more Prozac than Xanax, but what do I know?
95% of the time you look bored.
Yeah.
This is what I think really annoys you the most is that I got rid of my membership, which is money out of your pocket, and you're afraid because that Secret Unlimited video makes you look real bad. You're afraid you're going to lose other members. That's on you, Phil. If you didn't talk about your personal financial woes, you wouldn't be in this situation.
That's exactly what I said.
This is your fault that you're in this situation, no one else's, but you'll never admit that anyway. I didn't do it to get myself over, Phil. That documentary on you or detractor video had plenty of damning information in it, and I don't feel comfortable giving you a monthly membership. You banned me, you deleted my comment because you didn't want people to see it, which was nothing but an objective comment. I did not attack you in any way, and you shut me down, Phil. You will never understand that you are your own worst enemy, and you just can't take criticism. If you took criticism, there's a chance right now, Phil, you would be a multi-millionaire, and you would be one of the most relevant people on this platform. But because you didn't listen to anybody and you were too stubborn and headstrong and full of yourself to listen, you are now here telling people to tip you so you could get groceries the next day.
Why do we know it won't happen?
There's no apology I need to give you, Phil. Kiss my ass.
So, Rich, You did this to yourself. You just wanted to get clickbait views on your garbage content basically on my behalf. Review Tech USA used to be a guy who reviewed tech in the USA. He failed. He's a failure.
No, he isn't.
He starts looking at guys like Drama Alert and Keemstar, and he starts seeing, man, if I just talk about news stories every day and I give my spin on them, right, then I could get views just based on that. And you know what? Shit, that's a lot easier than doing in-depth reviews of technology. And by the way, it's becoming more popular than my actual review content. And essentially, what Rich has become over the years has been a true to his heart kind of a guy who makes stuff that he loves into a really bad, generic, knock-off Keemstar. He probably has a picture of Keemstar on his fucking bedroom ceiling, and he probably talks to him at night. Oh, I pray to Daddy Keem that tomorrow I could be more like you and get more clickbait views and do more shit. Because literally, that's his idol, okay? The point I'm making here is, he will literally flip on you on a dime if it's a slow day for him. If he feels that there's nothing for him to talk about, he'll turn on you and make a whole negative expose about you.
That's not true.
In Rich's mind,
I don't think so, anyway.
The one moment of end-all be-all of me is my embarrassing moment, which is why every time he brings me up, he's got a screen capture of that moment behind him on his monitor
funny, though. That's
in his studio. He's got the mindset of a child. He's got the mindset of an immature teenager who snickers and laughs at sexualized humor, who thinks it's funny to make jokes about kissing cucumbers. He's got an insanely immature brain. He doesn't even care. As long as the money is rolling in every day, as long as that ka-ching comes in and it pays his bills, he actually doesn't give two shits about what he puts out there. At all. Alright? I am upset that Rich keeps fucking putting that face in his content. I feel it's harmful. I feel that is a reminder of my failures in the past, how a bad person I was or a broken person I was, alright? My wife hates it.
No, it's a perfect, legitimate reminder of all the times you've splashed out in more ways than one.
When people bring that moment up, and she actually gets very sad and upset if it gets brought up on my streams to any kind of lengthy discussion. Yeah. She's actually cried a few times when she's watching one of my streams and people won't stop bringing that shit up. He's started bringing me up regularly in his content now. Like I said, whenever he has a slow night, it's Dark Side Phil night. Let's watch either his own streams or let's watch detractor content about him. It seems like I'm a third of his content. When there's nothing going on, it's Dark Side Phil time. But then I start hearing,
you don't have to worry about that, Phil, because literally, if it's got anything to do with me, the only times I would ever have to talk about Phil is probably at best 10 days a year. So, sorry, Phil, but trust Phil, you're going to be hearing about me a lot sooner than you might think. But one thing I just want to say to you right now, and I know you're probably not going to take this the right way, but just consider this for one moment. I know you might not like it. I know there's a lot of things you probably are not going to like about the things I want to say to you, but Phil, face it, Phil, if you think your problems are going to get better with this sort of response, I'm sorry, Phil, things are going to get worse and a lot worse. And because you decided not to take any accountability or responsibility for anything you should have been responsible for, people are going to start doing it for you. And believe you me, it's going to be a big, big thing for you.
Did you know that Rich tonight, his entire night stream, he had nothing to do. So instead, he watched your detractor videos about you and commented on them. He did what? Why would he do that? The other night, he watched a video from someone who, over the years, has proven that the videos they put out are bullshit.
Well, that's not
this
true.
same person who put out the latest video about me Made a whole series of videos previously about my ex, then about my wife, superimposing a fucking horse's head over her face as a joke, thinking that's funny. Oh, because she deserves that, right? What a nice person on the internet that would do that, right? That's someone who you should give attention to, right? This person is a scumbag. What they do is they take all the conspiracies from all over the internet and put them into a documentary and then put it out as a video to basically get clickbait views. The person's a piece of dog shit, all right? They're horrible. They're a horrible, horrible person to do this to me or anyone, all right? Rich watches it. He still watches it and believes it is fact. Rich, you're fucked up in the head. You're a bad person. You are. Because you don't care about the misery you cause me and others. You've hurt me and my family with your actions. You have. I don't have to pull stunts to get any kind of positivity out of my viewers, all right? I don't have to take my shirt off. I don't have to a cucumber. I don't have to kiss a I don't have to watch a negative video to run a business. I can do fun, positive things and still run a business.
Phil, you sit there and play a video game and 95% of the time you look bored. There was times you fell asleep on stream, Phil.
Every single time Review Tech USA turns on his stream is the most embarrassing moment in his life.
I'm not too sure about that, Phil. He seems pretty alright.
You have to degrade yourself. You have to make negative content to make a living because you failed as a content creator. It doesn't matter how many subs you have. It doesn't matter how many dollars roll in for you. You're a failure in life. Deal with it and leave my name.
Phil, what the fuck are you talking about now? Rich is a failure because he's financially successful. He doesn't waste his money, and that he actually, you know, he has consideration for his audience. Phil, what on earth are you talking about?
Out of your mouth forever. I don't ever want to hear you say Dark Side Phil again. I'm done with you. You understand? Done. You're never going to be addressed in my content again. You're a joke. You're lower than Keemstar. You're lower than the low because you don't give a fuck about who you hurt to get by. Well, you fucked with the wrong guy because I'm not here to be the butt of your fucking joke anymore. Go ahead and do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you, but just understand something, all right? I, in my mind, am better than you because I don't have to be like you to be happy.
So, Phil, let's break this down for 1 second. So the reason why you consider yourself better than Rich is because you're not like Rich. So what are you then, Phil? Are you Philip Burnell? Is that what makes you better than Rich? You know, I possibly had second thoughts about perhaps about giving Phil a bit of a piece of my mind, but no, this guy needs to be taken down like at least several pegs.
I, in my mind, am better than you. Rich had the opportunity to apologize. I asked him to. He did not. Instead, he made another negative video about me. So
yeah,
he's done.
What's Rich got to
right?
apologize
It's over.
for?
That's actually what spurred me to do this morning. He literally made yet another negative video about me instead of apologizing. So I'm done with him. No more. This is an end-all, be-all done. And now we can move on positively, okay, to the future. That would be the best case scenario for me. If I never hear RTU Rich Review Tech ever again in my life, I'd actually have a better life. So let's try to do that.
I don't think you do. Yeah. To this day, DSP Gaming and Review Tech are still talking about each other and each their own content. Yeah, so you lie about that, Phil, and it's not the first time you've lied either. We know this, I know this, and you know that too. Okay, so that's gonna do it for part 8. What is it? Why? You know what? You know what's kind of like even more frustrating when you just think about this is that whenever Phil ever tries to think that he's like got the upper hand on somebody because he thinks that absolutely, he's in the right. When he thinks he's in the right, unfortunately, it's just. Let me just give you an example about why this always comes back to bite him on the arse. Because Phil continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And despite very hard trying, Phil doesn't seem quite able to understand how, actually, to be honest, he doesn't. He just continues to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And if Phil even had a slightest bit of self-awareness, like, whatsoever about the things he was doing, then he would be, again, like I said, if he didn't bring any of this shit up, then that would be fine. If he didn't bring any of the issues about, WWE champions, if he never played WWE champions, he would be fine. If Phil just gave a little bit of thought towards his audience and a little bit more thought into the things that he was doing, Phil would be 10 times better off. But because Phil doesn't do any of these things, and because he does basically the exact opposite, that is why people just... Oh, God. I think it's stupid in many ways that this has gone on for this long, but also for the fact that Phil just... I don't think you can tell he cares, but as long as, this is the only thing that's even keeping him remotely relevant. If people like Secret Limited didn't make stuff like this, no one would even know Phil was here at all. And like I said, that's the only way you're ever going to make sure Phil, never profits of any of this stuff, is by just not giving him what he wants. That's all you have to do. So anyway, it is time to pull out of the station once again, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys again for part 9. So take care, and bye-bye for now.